Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Life Zone, where we talk about the parallel sports and life. I am your co-host, Eric Pannell.
And I'm Xavier Lanier.
And we are about to kick it off. It's about 100 degrees outside. So this show is thankfully sponsored by Appliance Medic, where we bring your appliances to life. Shout out to George Webb and his team. Be sure to download the app on the iPhone and Android. Also, Phase Consulting Partners. If you have any company needs in terms of training, portfolio management, we'll be there to help you out. Download the app on the iPhone and Android there as well. X, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Hey, fireworks today. We got a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
We got a special guest on the show today, man. We got my homeboy, Fred Adams. What's good with you, man?
Man, what's going on? Good to be on. Good to see both of you guys.
Episode 18. I always like to put a player with the number. So none other than Peyton Manning. So this show is dedicated to Peyton Manning, number 18. Y'all got another number 18 out there that I don't know about?
Hey, man, that's the 18 that came to mind.
That's the one, right?
The GOAT right there. That's the GOAT 18.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. All right, let's start with the playoffs, man. So Fred, just give you a heads up. We're gonna put you on the hot seat. We got something for you towards the end of the hot seat. Oh, right. Actually, before we jump into that, so I took a lot of heat about a post I shared earlier this week about the number of players, all-star teammates that Jordan played with. Okay. And I saw, man, people were trying to assassinate my character and say that I just shared fake news. So let me give y'all the list, and I'm gonna put the clip out there on the group so everybody can know it's legit.
All right.
Y'all ready for the list?
Yes, sir.
Here's all-stars Jordan has played with: Robert Parrish, George Gervin.
I know where you're going.
Jerry Stackhouse, Horace Grant. His greatest, just because I'm taking a shot at Scottie Pippen, his greatest teammate of all time, Dennis Rodman. And then lastly, Scottie Pippen. Those are the 6, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't fake news.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's go. What
about B.J. Armstrong? He never made All-Star team? Never.
Steve Kerr? Never.
Horace Grant?
Never. Horace Grant did. That was his last year with Chicago.
Okay.
That was his last year. Where I'm going with it is Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman is the real all-stars that Jordan played with. Now, I'm not trying to have a GOAT debate. I'm not just.
I got you.
I'm just, Fred, you can respect this. I'm just presenting evidence. That's all I'm doing.
Actually, I wasn't going at you. I didn't quite understand what they were saying. I was like, are they saying the number of times that one of his teammates went to the All-Star game, or you're saying just the straight teammates? That's all he ever had that went to the All-Star.
Those are teammates that Jordan has played with. You know, obviously It's a mixture of Bulls and Wizards. But those are the teammates he's played with that actually made it to an All-Star.
Right. And then, man, to even to have Parrish on that list, that was, I mean, you know.
Kwame Brown didn't make the list.
And for the record, and I know this is your podcast, but for the record, I actually like Michael Jordan. I have no problem with him saying he's the GOAT. Just for the record.
I mean, we got some folks that came in that seat that you're sitting in, and Joe Drew. We'll talk about him later.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, man. Let's talk about your boy, man. Wake Forest, Chris Paul. So
yes, sir.
Fred went to Wake Forest. So there's a soft spot for Chris Paul in there. So Fred, I'm gonna give you the floor, man. Is he done? Like, what was your analysis on what you saw in this last series, man?
And I'll say this, and I did go to Wake. Obviously, very happy to graduate from Wake. Note that as much as we get, flack for basketball, we will be one of the few schools who can boast having 2 of the top 10 at their position of all time, and that's real. Right?
Okay.
That's real.
I see where you're going.
So what I would say is, I don't know, man. I told someone I don't ever think I can remember in a 4-game stretch with so much on the line where I saw him have that type of game. I wondered if he was hurt or if there was something else going on. It kind of reminded me, though, of the Bucks last year when they got out to that 2-0 lead on the Bucks, and everybody's like, they're done. I mean, you know, we felt like maybe that the Suns are going to take it. I don't know, man. I don't know if it was so much that it was Chris Paul. I mean, at some point, I hate to be one of those guys who doesn't give credit to the opponent too. I mean, let's be honest. Luka was playing well. He played out of his mind. Jalen Brunson, out of his mind. Spencer Dinwiddie, out of his mind. Okay. And I imagine that probably some of those guys from the Suns saw game one the other night and said, where were those guys when they were playing against us? But I don't know. Chris Paul said he's coming back, and I certainly hope he does. But I will say, man, to be honest, I don't know if that was not his last best shot, to be honest with you.
Hey, for 37 million, I come back too.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
You know, I come back for 37 million, but I promise you, I said this the last episode, he's finished. His window to win a championship, I think it just closed.
Right.
Obviously, he's going to be 37, 38 next year, and he's not necessarily he's injury prone. So I'm not wishing an injury on him. It just seems to be in his cards every time he gets in the playoffs. It's always hamstring, a thigh, shoulder, a finger, wrist, something. Like, so, I mean, as much as I love Chris Paul, man, I wanted to see him win.
I did too.
I wanted to see them boys win. I think this was their last best year. This was their last chance. I think their window is closed. So,
Fred, X reminded me of this. Chris Paul has actually been a part of 5 of these where they've been up 2-0.
Oh,
they still lost the series. He's been a part of 5.
Well, I know for sure. Probably some of them with the Clippers, right?
Yep.
Was it Houston? One of them?
Did it ever happen with Houston?
Yep.
You know, that Houston game, that game 7 where he didn't get to play, where I can't tell you how many threes they missed. I just remember thinking, man, like this shouldn't have even come to the game 7. Had a couple of those with I think with the Clippers where they were up and you're like, okay, this is it. They're gonna go. The thing I kind of felt like this year that fell into place for him is that you had another one of those years, and I know Eric will love this, but you have the Lakers being down. So you have LeBron and them are out of the picture, right? You look at the East. There's no KD to have to go even think about. There's no Kyrie to have to think about. Embiid, no. The Nuggets, they can't get all their guys back. Kyrie and Paul George. So it seemed like everything fell into place for him. The one thing I look at though now when I look at the Suns is even though they had the number 1 record, were they maybe a little bit overrated, if that's possible? I mean, I'm just asking. Because when you look at that team, you say, okay, they got Booker. They got Chris Paul. They got Bridges, right? And they got Ayton. I'll be honest with you. I'm still not convinced on Ayton. And you see that, I don't know if y'all saw the news this week, something happened with him at some point in that game. There was some spat between him and the coach. And he didn't even play after like 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And granted, that game was done. But I just don't know if I believe in DeAndre Ayton even. So I do think, to sum it up, I think this was their last best chance.
So when we had Joe Drew on here, he's a Detroit Pistons fan, and we spent a good bit of time talking about that. I think the Suns agree with you because they not rushing to his agent to give him money. So, right. I mean, we'll see.
Right.
I mean, the wound is still fresh in Phoenix for them to be worried about re-signing players and stuff like that. I think that going forward, I think Booker and Ayton will be a formidable combination. If they keep them together, I don't see why Phoenix wouldn't pay Ayton. What are their alternatives if they don't? They let them walk.
That's true. I throw this out there, X. Even if they do bring them back as that combination, for me and what I see, they're going to be 3rd or 4th in the West.
I mean, that's still competitive, though, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's 3rd or 4th in the West, and I'm giving them no shot to win the championship.
So who you got top 3 in the West?
Well, I think the Mavs are 1 player away. from definitely, if you get anybody to go with Luka to be kind of a right-hand man, they're definitely above Phoenix.
Okay.
Lakers ain't gonna go away quietly. We know that. Golden State.
Golden State.
I mean, Golden State right there. And then, I mean, hell, let's look at what my man Jokic did in Denver. You bring his dogs back. That top 5. So that's just the way I look at it. I mean,
Memphis, if they get right.
You're right. I didn't even get to that. Yeah, I mean, so it don't matter what they signed Ayton or not. I mean, they still 3rd, 4th, 5th for me, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were done after last year. I figured they would make the playoffs again. If you told me they're gonna be the number 1 team, have the best record in the league, no way I believe that was gonna happen.
Right. I mean, because I'm not, obviously, I'm always gonna throw my Kentucky Blue in there. Booker, I'm not a fan of when you got guys that are during the regular season. I think you can survive being the jump shooter, right?
Right.
But as you saw, you got a guy that's flexible and a hybrid like Luka that can get a bucket any way he want to get it. You need guys like that on your team to get you through the playoffs, and that jump shot ain't always gonna fall.
That's what, when I looked around at the Suns, I looked around in that series, and I said, okay, if 37-year-old Chris Paul doesn't take over the 4th quarter like he did earlier in the playoffs a couple times, granted Booker can score, but after that, I mean, I feel like Ayton, and I agree with you, X, that, where do they go? They've kind of put themselves in a tight spot, because what do? You let someone you spent the number 1 pick on just go and get nothing in return for him. So they kind of, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's garbage or he's trash, but he disappears in my opinion in key spots of the game. And I just don't get it sometimes. It confuses me completely. But when you look at the Suns, the thing about it is they need something else. I don't know. I like Cam Johnson, but it's Cam Johnson. I mean, they need something else. I don't know what that something else is going to be or where they'll find it, but they need something else.
Yeah. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, like I mean, bottom line is this: Phoenix is finished. They're done. They're gonna have to. When you look at towards the future, right? Chris Paul has got 1 year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so after that, you still got a young Booker and Ayton to go on and carry on into the future. Maybe you can find another piece to replace Chris Paul once he decides to retire. It's just sad to see them go through what they went through last year, getting to the finals, taking an L, and then to come back with like gangbusters and run through the regular season, right? Get into the playoffs and be the favorite in everybody's eyes to get mollywopped by the Mavericks and Luka. So let me ask you this question, because it was brought up. Golden State 173, and then they lost in the finals, right? Phoenix 164. They was the best team in the regular season by far.
Right.
And yet they still lost in the playoffs. So the question is, how important is the regular season? Right? Because everybody says at this point, the regular season is not that important. It doesn't mean much. Right? What can you do come playoff time?
Right.
I think it gets towards the end of the season when you starting to, and LeBron, I think, and it's not me taking a shot at LeBron. I think LeBron he's a master at this.
Right.
Where it's about positioning as you get towards the end of the season, where you kind of, some games you want to look at matchups. I think that's important.
Right.
Right. And it kind of goes on what I just said. It's like you can be number 1 seed and kill it all in the regular season if you want to. But if you that playoff is a whole other season. It's a whole different intensity, whole different level of speed. It's a whole different thing. You got to bring a whole different game to that level.
Right. The one thing I was thinking about, and I laughed when you mentioned how valuable really is the regular season. The one thing I did think about, though, was that the one team this year that regular season probably would have been a lot more to? The Brooklyn Nets. Because let me tell you, if they don't end up in that spot and have to open up playing against Boston first round, if they win a few more games there and they can move up to another spot, maybe avoid, Boston. I mean, who knows? Maybe at that point they make it through a series. Maybe they start gelling, maybe not. But that is one instance where the regular season, it was like so messed up from the beginning between Durant getting hurt, Kyrie not getting vaccinated, James Harden doing the James Harden. I mean, James Harden, man, I don't even know where to go with him. Really.
So I'm gonna let you be Pat Bev.
Oh,
should he get the max next year? Or
No. I mean, I can't justify it based on what I saw.
James can't justify it either.
I mean, it was literally like watching somebody just go off a cliff. It's like, what happened?
100%.
And the thing about it is he's forced his way out of so many situations, right? At the end of that game, he looked like he wanted no part. He wasn't the only one, but he looked like he wanted no part of whatever they were trying to do in that last game. He was like, I'm out of here. I don't see how you can pay him that type of money to be a max player.
Not at all.
Somebody might, but I can't see. I wouldn't want my team to do it.
Yo,
yeah, my team either.
Nah, if somebody would have posted this quote, I would have laughed and thought they was joking. It was fake news. But when I saw the press conference with Embiid, it was like, I don't know what you guys were expecting.
Right.
You guys were expecting James Harden in Houston. That guy didn't show up.
Right.
I lost it.
And you know what I immediately thought? Like, Embiid, have you not remembered anything from last year? Because I still feel like, as much as I'm one of those guys like Ben Simmons, you have to move past that. You're a professional. They did criticize you publicly, and obviously I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. He might really have some stuff going on. He might have what I call the yips, where he just, I'm not picking on him at this point. I'm saying there's something. But I remember hearing Doc and Embiid address his play or lack of play, thinking, man, that's not what you say right there, in my opinion.
Right.
You say that in the locker room, not in front of all the cameras. Even if you don't believe it for that moment, when they say, can this team win a championship? Yes, we can with Ben Simmons. He's a valuable part of this team. We didn't lose that game because of what he did. Now, granted, that was one of the last moments.
Yep.
But I've never one of those people who like to blame one person or another, for one player, two players, or even a game. I mean, there are lots of opportunities throughout a series to win or lose. But to get back to your point, when I heard him say that about Harden, I said, oh boy, here we go.
Doc went completely the other way. They asked him, said, do you think you can win a championship with Ben Simmons in your start lineup? He said, no. He got the nasty voice. No.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Were you surprised they're bringing Doc back?
Well, so here's the thing. His name was mentioned with the Lakers, right?
Right.
And I think it was more of a business move. They're like, well, if y'all want him, y'all better put a trade in for him.
That's right. Right.
Oh,
the business part of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. I'm with that.
Right.
That makes sense. I mean, because outside of that, he probably wouldn't be back. He probably shouldn't be back. Doc Rivers is one of those coaches, man. He had a great year with the Celtics, the Big Three.
Yep.
Right.
But outside of that, his track record as a coach, well, what are we doing here?
Right.
And he's riding that championship on out, but yeah, he's kind of lost
every mile out of that championship.
Yeah, he is. They still bring that. They got more reunions than any championship team I've ever met, man.
Yeah, look at here. He getting every squeeze of the orange juice out of that one. Every squeeze he can get, he getting it.
Speaking of done, let's talk about the series. Is the Mavs done based on what y'all saw last night?
Go ahead, X. I'll let you answer it.
Yeah, I already said this is going to be a short one. This is going to be a good 5 games. And that's if Dallas can muster up the ability to get one at home in front of the home crowd. But outside of that, This is not gonna go very long. Right. Golden State just got too many weapons, man. And as you saw last night, they can score from anywhere, mid range. It ain't gotta be Clay. It ain't gotta be Steph. They got Jordan Poole putting up numbers. They got Wiggins doing his thing. And Dallas, man, it's like you cannot shoot. What they like 4 for 29 or something, 7 for 29 at the half. Yep. And then they 11 for like 30, like for 48 or something like that. Like that's not gonna get it done.
Right.
Like I was having this conversation with the guys that I work with here in Ohio. We was talking about like why they kept shooting so many threes. I mean, they're open threes, man.
Right.
They just wasn't hitting nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Like there was one stretch where they shot a 3, got a rebound, shot another 3, got a rebound, shot a third 3. Right? All up. Clank, clank, clank. Like they gotta do something else, man. And I don't think they got I don't think they have the offensive weapons to even compete with Golden State.
Nah. How you feel, Fred?
I was gonna say I when I first thought about this series, I picked it. I said I think it would be a 4-1. 4-1 series in favor of Golden State. After that last night's game, I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment and overreact. But if they swept them, I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Like you said, if they can't find a way, I don't think they're beating Golden State in Golden State. I think they're going to have to do something at home in Dallas. But yeah, I don't see it going past 5.
Yeah,
I just don't.
I agree with that. I think max they can get one game. So using a series like this, Fred, me and X been talking about this. I got to find some comedy in the series, some kind of way, some kind of entertainment.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure you've seen this just like everybody else. How many times you seen Draymond Green get that ball at the 3 wide open? That man get that thing out his hand like a hot potato so quick.
Yeah.
He does not want to shoot that basketball.
No. But you know what? The question is, do you blame him? No. That's the thing about the Warriors that, as X was saying, man, they have so many people, right? They have so many guys that can get you 30 on a given night. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's hard. That's hard to overcome. And not only that, they have guys who are willing to play defense.
Yep.
And they're young and willing to play defense.
And they share the basketball.
They share the basketball.
Willing to share the basketball. Like, hey, that's it. And to your point, Eric, Draymond Green got a Steph Curry was drove to the basket, man, and threw the ball back out to the top of the key because he just knew Draymond was going to be there.
You're right.
Draymond got the ball. He literally got the ball, never took his eyes off of Steph. You talking about staring down your receiver? He watched Steph go baseline, come back up around the screen. He threw the pass on target. Steph caught it, fired, number bottoms. Come on, man. How you not? What are we doing here?
I don't think I've ever seen a player who's had the kind of success Draymond has had. And granted, he's not putting up, the biggest numbers, but his contribution to that team. If you put him anywhere else, Draymond maybe doesn't make it to get to the second contract. Maybe. I mean, he has a lot of things he does well, but he's not particularly great. Well, he's a great defensive player. Let me say that. But what I mean is, he understands that offense and what they're trying to do, that game plan. And even though we talk about Steph, he's the face, right? Even Klay Thompson, he will give you a 30-point quarter every once in a while. Yeah. But it's Draymond orchestrating things out there. He understands his role. He's unselfish. He doesn't complain. Charles Barkley and them used to joke on him putting up triple singles. Hey, but guess what? He doesn't care. They're right back in the thick of it, about to, possibly contend for another one. I mean, I think they at least make it to the finals. So, and why can't they win again?
Now you Draymond has started the argument that he should have been one of the top 75 players.
Yeah, he should have.
I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not even close.
No. He said that if we would have won the championship during that year that you got, it was 73-9? Is that the year? Yeah, the 73-9. If we had won a championship, he said, "Good luck keeping me off the list." That was his quote.
Nah, he's no like that's like you could say Scottie Pippen was on the list because of Michael Jordan, right? But their success in Golden State, I just don't see it. I don't even think Draymond's numbers can put him on the 75 list.
Yeah, no. He's not one of those guys. There's Steph, Clay, and then there's him.
Right.
Yeah, that's he's part of the big three, but he's the third piece. He's that guy. He's the intangible guy. He ain't. Here's the argument to that, right? Because when Steph and Clay were not there, what was Draymond Green doing?
Woo, right.
Without them, right? Everybody on that 75 list was carrying their team somewhere, some shape, some form, fashion.
100%.
Right. Draymond ain't carrying no squad, man.
Right. Nah. That's what my man Jalen Rose would call irrational self-confidence.
Right. So let's swivel over to the East Coast, man. I think we got a 7-game series with this one. Look, Celtics won the first 3 quarters of that game last night.
Yep.
I mean, the other night, yeah. First 3 quarters. They won.
Without Marcus Smart and without Horford.
Al Horford, yeah. Godfather.
Now, granted, Miami didn't have Lowry, but still. Smart is heart and soul.
You mean the first half? Because Miami went on like a 20-25 to something run in the third quarter. Like, after halftime, that game was all Miami.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but nothing in that what I've seen, I think it's still going to go 7 games. That's just me.
I would think so.
Yeah, I want them to get healthy, man. Like, I don't know, like Smart is all dinged up, and then Horford is in health and safety protocol. And once they get healthy, I think those two getting back on the court.
He's back tonight.
That's it. He playing tonight?
Back tonight. Yep. Sorry, I popped on my phone.
Cool. Good. That makes it a little more competitive. I still think Miami gonna take it though. I don't know if until Boston wins in Miami, man, it's like Miami doesn't have to win in Boston, and that's the benefit of being the higher seed.
Yeah, I know you guys not going to hear me say this, but man, you got 2 guys over there from Kentucky leading that thing for Miami. I'm just throwing it out there.
What you hold on. Let's what you talking about lead? Who talking about? Last time I checked, Jimmy Butler went to Marquette.
Oh,
that's true. That's true.
I don't know what 2 guys you talking about lead anything in Miami.
Playing a prominent role. Let me throw that out there.
Oh, okay. Man,
that? Yeah.
See, man, I keep him honest, man. I keep that dude honest over there.
Keep him honest.
I gotta keep that dude honest over there, man.
I will say something happened to me for the first time in my life, childhood or adult life. I actually found myself Game 7 of the series the other day, cheering or actually hoping Boston would win. I don't know where that came from.
Ooh,
because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not a Boston guy. I do like their coach.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jason Tatum, but I have never in my life. I'm talking about. I've been disliking the Celtics since I was 5 years old, man. I mean, I don't do the Celtics, and I found myself thinking, okay, I'm all right with this. I was like, this is crazy.
You're a Lakers fan. I understand. I mean, that's
man. I don't even like to admit that, but it's the truth. I found myself actually thinking, okay, I don't know what that was about because I don't necessarily dislike the Bucks. Now, let me ask you a question. As good as Giannis is, do you think that he gets well? And a lot of players have gotten superstar treatment, so let's not say that. I feel like the block charge thing with Giannis, I feel like Giannis gets the benefit of the doubt in that conversation, possibly as much as any player I've ever seen. Giannis is bulling over people every play.
You about to strike a nerve with my co-host. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I've been saying this for weeks now, man. Like, I'm glad somebody else said that, man, because I've been borderline. Some folks have been calling me the Giannis hater for some reason, right?
Right.
I don't necessarily agree.
Right.
I'm just calling it how I see it, man. The dude got 3 moves, man, and you're right. One of them is running everybody over.
Right.
And that's just not how we play basketball, man. So I was glad to see them get beat. Right. I don't think Giannis had the ability to carry that team without Chris Middleton, and right. I'm happy to see them take that L.
Right.
However, I will acknowledge the fact that if Middleton was on the court, you may have had a different outcome.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I hate this time of year, regardless of who it is that's playing, whether I'm rooting for him or not. I hate to see when someone is missing a key piece. And obviously, Chris Middleton is a major, major piece to be missing with Milwaukee. If he's playing, I'd probably put my money back on the Bucks.
Excellent. He's the closer. Giannis get his work in first three quarters, but Middleton is that guy get his own shot and everybody else's shot.
That's right.
So let me ask you a question, Fred. You mentioned Tatum. Did he move up in terms of top players?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How far
up? Man, good question. How far up? I'm gonna say, whew. Man, I don't know where I had him ranked before, but I just know he is elevated for sure.
Top 10?
I think because actually, here's the thing. I don't want to sidestep the question. I was thinking this morning, I saw someone talk about where Jimmy Butler is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think about the top 5 players right now, just off the dome. I think of Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Luka, LeBron, KD. I'm going outside the top 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, where is Jason Tatum? Isn't he probably definitely top 15 in the league?
Go ahead, let you finish.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so top 5 right now, he's definitely in front of KD. Talking about Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron.
Is that because of the series, you think?
No. So his performance in the playoffs this year, in my opinion, puts him in that top 5 category, where it pushes a couple of those guys who have been great. Hall of Fame, first ballot, no slights to them, like KD, LeBron, like no slights to them guys. We talking about right now, though. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even put LeBron in top 5 right now. And I'm a LeBron fan, but right now, I can't even put LeBron in top 5 right now. Like you said, you got Jokic, Luka, Tatum, Giannis, right? That's
Embiid.
4.
Would Embiid be in?
Embiid, I can't put him in the top 5 either, man. He just he's probably 6.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, but it's all debatable. It's all debatable. Jokic is in there.
Okay.
Jokic and Giannis, those 2 in there because back-to-back MVPs. Obviously, you got to give respect on that.
No Embiid. I'm surprised.
Tatum and Doncic. That's 4.
Where would you have Steph at this point?
Man, Steph has always been top 10 to me.
Okay.
But he's also without Clay and Draymond, like they were the 8th seed that year. They was in the playoff playing game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I mean, you figure when you talking top 5, man, you talking carry your squad. That's those players top 5. Right? And the first 4 definitely carried their squads.
We've seen Joker
in my opinion.
Joker do it.
So you got those top 4 for sure: Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Tatum.
And Max Kellerman this morning said he had Jimmy Butler in his top 5.
Max.
Hey, that's a tough one, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Jimmy Butler has been productive everywhere he's went.
Yeah. He has. I
just can't put him in the top 5. He carried Miami to the finals last year, or was it not 2 years ago?
Bubble year, 2020.
Right. So I mean, he I can't put him top 5, but he's definitely in the conversation when you're looking at 5 through 10 or 5 through 15. He's definitely up there.
Ja Morant, where you have him?
I think he's overrated, man. But he got most improved. I could put him top 15. I mean, we had to write him down. If you had to write him down, I probably can give you a solid 15. He'll be there.
Yeah, he got some extra tools he need to add to his game. I mean, I don't see Ja top 10, but and I see the comparison people trying to give him with Allen Iverson, but it's only one Allen Iverson.
You're right about that.
But the comparison, I think it's warranted, right? I think it's a it's a good comparison because when Iverson came into the league, he was a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Like his jump shot wasn't as pure as it was later on in his career.
Right.
But so yeah, I think
oh, and we lost him.
Well,
all right, we'll keep going, man.
All right.
So for tonight,
yes,
I got a hot seat question I got to put you on. So
all right.
We'll get to that in a second. But for me, it's a toss up. I can't tell you who's gonna win this Heat series or Celtics. I can't tell you.
Right. He's coming back.
Yep. Yeah, but go ahead, man. Who you got win the series? And now when X join, I'll let you.
I hate to say if. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm saying the Celtics are gonna win the series.
Win the series.
Win the series.
Okay. I think in order for that to happen, they got to steal this game tonight.
They got to, for sure. For sure.
Okay. X, who you got?
For sure.
Man, I don't know, man. It's tough. Like, I want Boston to win, obviously, because, like you said, I'm rooting for Tatum and them boys, and I think they can get Game 5. I don't know if they're gonna get I don't know if they're gonna get this game 2, just because they don't have all their pieces. I think Smart will be back when they go to Boston.
Right.
I think they'll win at home. They got a whole serve, and I think Game 5 is going to be the one to determine who wins this series.
Right. Now, is Smart back tonight? Because I think he is. But he might not be 100%.
Yeah, he got the ankle injury. He's definitely not going to be 100% the rest of the series or the playoffs, really.
Right.
I
think not having Horford though. I mean, I think having Horford back is huge for them.
Yeah.
Because of what he can do as far as he can shoot outside, he passes, he rebounds. I mean,
he gets back 4 charges a game. It feels like.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and he's responsible for my favorite playoff moment when Giannis had the audacity to try to mean mug him. First of all, Giannis, nobody believes you. Stop it.
Right.
Stop it. And then you saw how Horford handled it. He looked at him and was like, okay.
All
right. And went down on the other end and gave it to him.
Yeah, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too, man. Because, like I said, Giannis ain't that guy, in my opinion, right? I understand you MVP. I understand you getting the benefit of the doubt. They giving you the superstar treatment. However, we all know that you just trying to bully people, right? And so for you to get this dunk, right, and then you want to growl and talk this noise and do all this shimmy shaking back to the sidelines, right? Okay, and you see what happened.
Listen, Giannis took a 3 the other day, and my son was watching the game with me. He said, "Daddy, what is Giannis doing? What is Giannis doing shooting?" I still don't understand why that guy takes 3s. But you know what? So here's where I'm gonna sound like the old man. Get off my lawn, get off my grass. There's a big part of me that is just not in favor of all of the 3-point shooting that happens. Sometimes, I mean, we have teams taking 53s in a game, and sometimes it's like, if that 3 is not, I know you got to have shooters' confidence, but at some point, what if you just drove in? What if you drove in the lane, or what if you moved in a couple steps and went in mid-range? Because those mid-range shots are open, but they're passing up layups sometimes to kick it out for 3s.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean,
the game has definitely changed for sure in that aspect.
I hate to be the old man acting like that, but I don't know why Giannis would ever shoot a 3, even if they leave him open. You're open for a reason.
I'm with you, man. His brother would agree with you too, as much as he cheering for him on the sideline.
Boy, man, everybody should have a brother like Giannis's brother. I have no brothers, but if I had one, I wish he was mine.
Right. And it's job security, though.
Right.
$2.5 million, I'll do it too. Yeah. I'll be over there jumping them down, hooting, hollering too.
Right. You talk about amusing yourself. I was laughing at him at the end of the game the other day as they are down by whatever they were down by in Game 7.
Yeah. He
gets in the game. This dude is playing like it's a 2-point game.
Hey, man. All heart.
Something to prove, man. You got something to prove.
Right.
That's the one thing I can't acknowledge about Giannis. He does play hard.
He plays
100%.
when he injured himself last year in the playoffs, right before the series, the finals, I was like, oh, Giannis is done. Like, he's not coming back. That's why I think kind of like maybe the Bucks, like it took a little while for Giannis to get into the groove of things. But I will say he was amazing in the playoffs last year, in the finals. Yeah. But Giannis plays hard, man. I can take nothing. He reminds me in terms of how hard he plays, somebody who this year just didn't pan out, my man Westbrook. Westbrook plays as hard as anybody, but he did not this year. I don't know what was up with him.
Like y'all said, man, shout out to Al Horford, but if he not on that TB12 program, he about to get drug tested at the end of the season because my man, he been drinking from the fountain of youth. This is the best he can played in forever.
Hey, he had a 30-point game not too long ago.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He on the list. He on the list to get drug tested. I don't care no.
Hey, Jimmy Butler told Bam, he said, "Hey, don't poke the bear." Hey, you sit in the car for that dude, but you better not, don't poke the bear.
That's right.
Don't get him upset because he'll kill us. He'll get us.
Right.
All right, Fred. We're about to get in this hot seat question, brother.
Okay. All right.
X already know I'm about to ask you. We need you.
Oh boy.
To sell the Life Zone audience why and how the Pittsburgh Steelers can win the division.
How and why they can?
To sell us on it.
All right, I'm gonna tell you.
With a straight face. With a straight face. I'm gonna tell you how. Because what has happened over the last couple of years, as much as I obviously give credit to Big Ben, Big Ben, the offense, they still were trying to do a lot of what they did in his prime, which is, they had transformed from, everybody knows Pittsburgh is a running team or has historically been a running team. And granted, when you have the type of weapons they had, you throw the ball. When you have a quarterback, Big Ben was past his prime in that sense of throwing. So now what's going to happen? You're going to see a team that's going to go back to the basics, have a great running back. You have still a good defense. I mean, actually a great defense. Yeah. Okay? I mean, you have TJ Watt, right? You still got Cam Hayward. You still got Mika Fitzpatrick. I mean, you always going to have the linebackers. Yep. So what you're going to see in that division is this. The Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. Ooh. Okay? I'm not worried about the Cleveland Browns, even if they get Deshaun Watson. Because at the end of the day, they're the Cleveland Browns. Okay. Cincinnati, they caught people by surprise last year. People expected the jump, but did they expect that jump? No. So now they have a bullseye on their back. Everybody knows this look, you can sneak up one year. Can you stay up there, right? And don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow, great. Wide receivers, great wide receivers. They still have a suspect defense. And then you get to Baltimore. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. And I'll be honest with you. Is Lamar, is he happy? Even though Hollywood Brown wasn't that guy, he liked Hollywood. Yeah. They got rid of him. What's going to happen with the running backs? They lost every running back they had last year in training camp to injury. Every single one of them. All right? That defense isn't what it used to be. Ed Reed's not walking through that door. Ray Lewis ain't walking through that door. So, in my opinion, their tight end, Max Andrews, that's the best thing the Ravens have going. I mean, weapons-wise. Obviously, we're not talking about Lamar Jackson. But is Lamar going to be that guy? So, I'm telling you, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to catch some people by surprise this year because what you're going to see is a more balanced attack that's more focused on running game, more ball control. Plus, I think they brought in Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, for a reason. I think he wanted to do more and open up the play a bit more. The thing about it is Ben just couldn't do that. And they tried to give Ben that Kobe year, which is, hey, this guy's been as good to our franchise as anyone has been. And we're going to let him ride it out the way he wants to ride it out. But, the key is going to be how good is Mitchell Trubisky going to be? Well, let me say, though, Mitchell Trubisky made the playoffs with Chicago. That's true.
He's not a slouch. Let me say this. These GMs miss out on picks. They do. But I don't believe that he's as nearly as bad as people think he is. And he got a year to watch Josh Allen. Yep. And maybe to get his mind right and to understand what it takes to be a winner. And now he can take that experience and come bring it to the Steelers. Obviously, you know, I don't know how well he would have done, but losing Haskins, man, that was a big loss, tragic loss.
That made my.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't. So look, people can say what they want to. Steelers people get mad at me. I don't believe in Mason Rudolph. So I'll say all this: if he ends up being the quarterback somehow, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But the draft pick wasn't bad. I mean, the draft pick, the quarterback, right. he wasn't bad.
Nope. Hey,
so
what you got?
All right, so we know you're a Lakers fan.
Yes.
We're gonna put you in. We're gonna put you back in the hot seat, man. We're gonna give you the big chair.
All right.
You see the roster?
Yes, sir.
You saw what happened this year.
Yes, sir.
How do we get you the GM now?
Right.
How do we get competitive again next year?
So here's the thing. As I see all these younger teams in the playoffs this year, I'm not quite sure exactly how you get younger, but the key mistake that they made was trying to go with too many veterans. When I say too many veterans, meaning guys that, yes, at one time had done it. But when you're talking about Trevor Ariza, I mean, man, what are we doing? You know, Melo, actually, I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with Melo. Melo was, I thought, okay, Melo got hurt a little bit. The main thing, and everybody knows it, and I'll be honest, when I first saw this trade, I am a guy who is like Russell Westbrook, despite all the criticism that he received over the years. Mm-hmm. He just was a bad fit. He is a bad fit for that team. Unless he's somewhere right now shooting 2,000 jump shots a day and really working on his jump shot, I don't see how it works. Even Davis, what are you doing? You get hurt every single year. Some of it's fluky, but some of it I think is just because you're not in the type of condition you need to be in. So to answer your question, you have to build around your young teams. You got to keep Malik Monk. Okay, I like Malik Monk.
Exactly.
Austin Reeves was not a bad. Everybody needs a guy like Austin Reeves, some guy who, let Caruso go. Right? Caruso was somebody who played D, who maybe wasn't going to give you 20 points, but he was going to play hard D. He was going to make a couple threes here and there. He was going to be a good ball handler. So I think you have some young guys, but you're going to have to gut a lot of that roster because just too old. And you cannot compete in this young NBA with these guys. Look at what Memphis has done. Man, I can't tell you but about 3 guys that's on Memphis' team, but they got all these young guys. A lot of these players have done this. There's no reason that the Lakers couldn't have built more around the young guys, gotten some shooters. I'll tell you who's looking to get out of there somewhere is Duncan Robinson in Miami. Duncan Robinson was playing well. He doesn't even play anymore. He still can shoot. You might be able to get a guy like him and bring him in. That's the thing. They never surrounded LeBron with shooters, and they have to have shooters. They brought in Avery Bradley. God bless Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley is not Avery Bradley that we knew to be. Kent Bazemore. It goes on and on and on. At some point, they had Wayne Ellington, and then I don't know what happened. They stopped playing him. So it was just relying on too many old guys, man, and it caught up to them. So
I do want to be clear when you use some words in there. They didn't surround LeBron, and
okay,
LeBron didn't surround himself with. And
so,
are you trading? Are you trading AD? And who wants AD? What? That's the other question. Who wants AD in that contract?
Who was AD?
Oh, I'm sorry, street clothes. Who wants street clothes?
Wow.
Street clothes.
Talk about that.
So that's going to be the key. Now, someone said, I saw a trade the other day, and I was like, I can't see that happening, but you never know, of sending AD to play with KD and bringing Kyrie to play with LeBron. Now, I don't know. I mean, they obviously were great together, but I don't know. I don't know at this point who would take AD unless, he has to prove he can play a season, right?
Yeah.
If I'm a GM, would I take him? No, not right now.
That's a trade of 2 guys that I don't know if anybody wants. Like to take on that.
But that's why it might work. Because they both probably need they both need new scenery at this point.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, I can imagine in Brooklyn right now, they are still hot with Kyrie Irving. Whether they ever publicly announce it, they can say all day, "Hey, it's your choice. We respect your choice." They can say that, but man, y'all know, as Stephen A. Smith has said, man, Kyrie been looking for reasons to miss games way beyond COVID.
Yep.
You think LeBron going to
Say
next
again?
year? Think LeBron will bring him to LA to deal with that?
Well, see, here's the thing about it though. For whatever reason, when Kyrie and LeBron played together, though, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
But Kyrie didn't want it long term though. That was the problem. Kyrie didn't want it long term.
He didn't, but I would hope at this point he realizes because.
Oh, X, you still there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
Fred, all right. I think Fred just paused out. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. I just can't see Kyrie going to LA and changing anything. I mean, obviously he's a great talent on the court, but mentally, right? He has to be better, man. He has to be a better teammate. He has to be available for these games. And I just don't see that in his future, right? And I don't think Nike sees that either, which is why they pull their sponsorship.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with him, man. I honestly have no idea what he's gonna do.
Well, your whole career has been built around accountability with your profession, right?
Mm-hmm.
And life or death situations, like looking to your left or right, behind you, you gotta count on guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's more serious than sports. But the parallel to that is, man, you gotta have guys you can count on, man. Like if I'm gonna play an 82 game season, practice, traveling, playoffs, and all that stuff to go with that, man. I can't sit here and wonder if you're gonna be there.
Right.
That's the problem.
And you're absolutely right, man. We getting paid too much money not to be here.
Yeah.
And it's too pride knowing you being here, because with that amount of money, we don't have other guys in here that's gonna be able to fill your shoes.
Yeah.
Right. So we paying you these Supermax contracts. We need you to give us Supermax effort, right? And play to your potential and win us some games, man. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Kyrie is already thinking about next steps in life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he wants to be a influencer or I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking it. I know that when I say that, it kind of comes off negative, but you know what I'm saying? You getting paid all this money, man. You like Stephen A. say, I don't agree with everything Stephen A. say and how you get all hyped up about everything, but the one thing I do agree with him about, like, you never gonna go in there and ask for less money. You want your money, and these same people that you criticizing, you know, without getting political, you want your money,
right?
But you got to work.
The other thing is how big of a window do these players really think they have to play at such a high level?
That's the other part to that. That's the other part.
You know, that's why I'm so disappointed with Harden sometimes, because I just don't understand what's going on with him. Now, I don't know if he's just finally getting old. Now, one of the things is, of course, they took away his move. They took away his ability to get those foul calls. But he just doesn't play hard.
I feel like he knows his window's closed, which is why that comment he made about wanting to fit in.
Right.
But outside of that, I don't know. I know he said at the press conference he's going to take this summer to get his body right and all that kind of stuff. But let's be realistic, man. You ain't done that in 2 seasons.
Man, it's the day you told me that, X, and because I didn't see that, but you told me about it. I saw a video of him on Instagram in the club the next night.
Right.
I mean, so, hey, man, I do want to squeeze in some NIL talk because it's been heating up. I don't know if y'all been following Nick Saban and these guys, Jimbo Fisher, going at the media about NIL. Y'all haven't heard about this?
No, but I want to hear about it though.
All right, so Nick Saban put out a quote saying that Texas A&M, he called them out specifically, saying every top player that they've gotten that they paid for. Jimbo Fisher fired back and said, "You don't want me going to your history." So know, let's lay the land on this. Jimbo used to coach under Saban at LSU.
Oh no, for sure. I knew exactly where you were going with it.
Listen, I am here. So seeing this today, has made me so proud because I am so excited for college football. The fact that they play in the same conference, the SEC, and they got to play head to head. Please tell me that ain't much watch TV. That's much watch.
They got an SEC conference or something they go to every year. The coaches get together. So
that's gonna be a fight. That's gonna be a fight.
That's gonna be on TV. That's gonna be prime time right there.
And so Fred, he also took a shot at Deion, by the way.
No, who did?
Saban.
What?
Saying that the only reason why he got that number one cornerback because he had to pay for him.
Really?
So let's make sure we make it clear what this is all about. They've been paying for these players before the NIL became official. They've been doing this. The powers that be, Ohio State, Alabama, all the top powers, they've got the money and the clout to do this. They got it, right?
Right.
It hasn't been a problem until Deion became the coach at Jackson State, and now he's getting players. There's notoriety getting put on the HBCU.
Right.
And now, because Dabo Swinney came out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was talking about Deion.
Right.
And talking about players getting paid. Like, come on, man. Like, this has already been happening.
Right.
So, needless to say, I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to that press conference when that comes.
Right.
That's going to be must-watch TV. And, man, when they play each other, boy, this is going to be
How long do you think Deion Sanders stays? Or do you see him leaving at some point?
So, to the front, like he's been telling everybody he's going to stay. But I've been hearing he's been interviewing. He's just been passed over for these other big schools.
Right.
Me personally, and I hope it does happen. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
He needs to be down there in Tallahassee.
Oh boy,
he needs to be down there in Tallahassee.
Nah, we good.
Nah, don't do that.
I'm gonna tell you why, man. And I'm all for HBCUs, right? And the NIL situation is starting to level the playing field when it comes to recruiting, right? Yep. And when it comes to, and the reason why all these Power 5 schools are up in arms and taking shots at everybody now, because they're no longer, they can't just stand on we Alabama,
right?
We this and we that, right? They can't just walk into your living room saying I'm from Alabama, come on down, right? Right. Deion, Eddie George down there, Tennessee State, like all these dudes, hey, we can do the same thing they can do.
Yep.
Come on down here, we fast down here, right? And bring the spotlight to the HBCUs. Get more TV. We on TV now, right? We getting on TV. We changing the culture around here. Come on, be a part of that.
Facilities is changing.
Why do you not want to be a part of that as an African American athlete?
Yep.
Right. Nick Saban can say, look how many guys I sent. Deion can say, I was that guy that played in the league. Eddie George can say, I was that guy who played in the league.
Yep.
And as you said, it used to be a time you could just roll out and say with Bama, it's sort of like how before things changed with the landscape of television, how Notre Dame at one point used to be able to just say, we're Notre Dame. We're on football. We're on NBC every week. Nobody else can say that. Now everybody is on TV every week. It seems like everywhere, all the time. You know,
as a top ranked cornerback, why would I not want to go play with Deion? He was the best I'd ever do.
That's right.
Top ranked running back. Why would I not go see Eddie George? He was one of the best that ever do it. So
That's
I'm not only am I going to get an education, not only am I going to get to play football, but I'm going to get to learn from one of the best. Why not?
You forgot another bullet point there. And I get paid for it. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, man. We getting close to the end here, but got a segment here. I like to educate and give some fun facts here. So last week,
all right.
I'm afraid I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the podcast last week, but I threw out some education here. Did you know that the Supreme Court had a basketball court in it?
No.
It's called, and it's not a dad joke. It's called the highest court of the land. Got a basketball court in it.
Did not know that.
Just throwing it out there. It's true. Got something else for you. Both of y'all's wives, they like flowers?
Yes.
All right. I'll give y'all a man tip. I just learned this today. You buy some flowers. If you put Viagra in the vase with some water, it will stand stronger and last longer for an extra week. Facts.
You see my face?
Just throwing it out there. Hey, these are true facts. I got the last one for you.
I got to see the source on that one.
I'll send it to you. Last one. Fred gonna like this. This is a Michael Jordan. Did you guys know from 1990 to 1998, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls team never experienced a 3-game losing streak?
Okay, that's impressive. That's real?
That's real. Facts.
All right.
Go.
That's impressive.
Throwing it out there. Y'all got anything for me?
Can't. Hey man, we keep like, I know at this point the GOAT conversation is more about just the back and forth than about facts and reality, right? But man, there's no way, especially in my lifetime, MJ ain't the GOAT. My lifetime,
right?
Like, undeniable, man. 6-0. That's all you got to say. 6-0.
Hey, go ahead, Fred.
Eric thinks I don't like MJ. I have a picture in my basement of MJ making a shot of a Brian Russell. I like MJ.
Hey, MJ is a GOAT, man. Speaking of Lakers, man, you've been watching the
yes,
dude. What you think?
Hold on. Which one are you talking about? I've seen Winning Time. I have not seen the one yet with Magic. I heard it's great though.
The one with Magic is great. Winning Time though.
Oh man,
Jerry West
loved it.
What do you think about Jerry West?
Well, of course he says that's not true, but
he's trying to sue him.
Look. Let me tell you something. I love that show. I mean, I love that series.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, I love it. A good dark comedy. If I can get that, I don't care if it's not 100% true. If I can get a twist of the truth in there, because we know there's some truth in there. Those guys covered this; they was there.
Truth in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Magic was a beast.
Absolutely.
I don't want to turn this to an R-rated show, but our Magic was a beast on the off the court.
He was.
Yeah, he was a savage, bro. Magic was a savage.
100%.
Yo, what you mean? Oh, Cookie not coming down? Well, I guess you'll do. What?
Magic was an animal.
Hey, I want to. You know what? I really want to know is how Cookie feel about this, because her story's out there too now, right? Or if any of this is true, right? Especially with him sleep with the best friend and getting her pregnant and all that kind of stuff. Like, come on, man. How you reliving this stuff?
Yep. You know, Magic smiling there with that big smile, talking about, nah, Cookie, you know that ain't true. You know this didn't happen.
Come on, Cook. You know that ain't reality.
But let's just say this. Not saying Cookie doesn't have her money, but I mean, at this point, with all Magic is doing, is Magic not one of the most successful post sports career individuals? I mean, is he not the GOAT in that situation? I mean, as far as not just sports, I'm talking about when you think about all his businesses, everything he's been a part of.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think what he does for sports, Jay-Z has done for hip hop, but he's shown people the other way that you can go ahead and get money.
That's right.
Yeah. So what was you about to say, X? My bad. I cut you off, man.
No. Like Magic definitely. His post basketball career is unmatched at the moment. He's definitely put the blueprint out there, and I'm pretty sure there will be others who will try to be like him in that arena, and less than the personal life. But yeah, his business sense is off the charts.
Yep.
Right.
Fred, I want to extend the olive branch here. So did this with Joe and some other folks. So at the kickoff of the NFL season.
All right.
We're going to do a challenge of picking who can predict the most division winners.
Okay.
So I'm going to email you the spreadsheet. I'll put it together. X is in it. Joe's in it. We're going to have a good bit of people in it. And we're going to, obviously, you're going to pick Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm picking Philly in our division. I'm keeping 100. I ain't even going to lie to you.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm about to pull his fan card in a second.
Yeah. Well, you know me. Listen. There's heart and then there's wallet. I always go leave with wallet first. my heart, my fanship can't buy me a steak. Keeping it a buck.
I thought you would have gone with Dallas.
No, absolutely not. Now I did last year.
Okay.
So, you know, I got the Browns in y'all's division. By the way, my dad he's a I don't know if you ever knew this, Fred. My dad is a diehard Browns fan.
Did not know that.
Every single day I get a phone call. And they suspend him yet? What they gonna do? I'm like, Dad.
Right.
And I'm watching ESPN like you, man. I have no idea.
Man, that's gonna be interesting to see what ends up happening with Watson. I mean, it is, obviously.
They gotta follow the blueprint of Ben Roethlisberger, right?
I would think. But here's the thing. I don't know though. You know, I mean,
a lot of people. You know, the optics on this is bad. It's a lot.
Right. Right. Anytime you even get you referencing that situation, you know
it's bad. It's bad look.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it, man. Hey, Fred, appreciate you stopping through, man.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Appreciate you coming through. I hit the wrong button, by the way. I was supposed to give you a clap. Let me throw a clap. There we go. Appreciate you coming through, man. Don't be a stranger. When we season materializing, we start kicking it off and we start seeing stuff going south with Pittsburgh. We gotta bring you back sooner. So we gotta.
Oh, I know it's coming.
Talk about it.
I know. I expect it. I'll be waiting.
X, what you got, man? Close it out.
Absolutely, man. Thanks again to Fred for joining us, man. Thanks again to those watching on YouTube. Don't forget to rate us, review us. Be sure to tell a friend, invite a friend, listen to the podcast. We can all get together and blend. With that being said, man, we're going to catch y'all next time. Peace.